2022 David Goggins 4x4x48 challenge. Here we go again. Cheers, y'all. How's it going? I am thrilled to announce that although I may have taken last year off, I am officially committed and back for the 2022 rendition of the David Goggins 4x4x48 challenge. For anyone who is unfamiliar, this is an endurance challenge where runners, walkers, athletes of all sorts commit to completing 4 miles every 4 hours over the span of 48 hours. So all in all, it is 48 total miles accumulated over those 48 hours. The 4-hour window makes it easier again for running, walking, etc. It's more of a mental challenge, a fatigue challenge, as you're forced to just continue to get those laps in every 4 hours through the night, etc. for the entire duration of the 48-hour challenge. Now, I'll get to more specifics and logistics in a minute, but one of the things that I love about the 4x4x48 challenge, and the reason that I am making this video, is because I love the wide array of people, the community that come together to take on this challenge. I think it's so exciting to see all the different people taking on the David Goggins challenge every year, and I am so excited to once again be a part of that community for 2022. So I want you to pause. If that is you, please give this video a thumbs up to let us know that you are taking on the challenge as well. And if you feel comfortable doing so, I hope that you'll also leave a comment letting us know, is this your first time taking on the challenge? Have you done it in the past? If so, how many times? Are there specific things that are inspiring you to take on this challenge? Like I said, I just really appreciate the community that comes together behind this challenge and love hearing people's reasons for participating. So if you are participating, hope you'll give the video a thumbs up and hope you'll let us know why down below in the comments. Although I didn't participate in the challenge last year, I did put out a quick video just covering some overall tips and tricks to help you get through those 48 hours. And I was floored with how quickly that video exploded, not just in the number of views, but in the number of comments from people. Again, that's what I was so excited about. Close to 200 comments, 100+ different people participating in the challenge. And I loved getting their updates along the way as well. So I'm hoping to build that same kind of community this year as well. So to cover some of the logistics with this year's challenge, you are welcome to complete it whenever and wherever you'd like. The first year that I did it, I didn't do it as part of the official event. I just did the challenge on my own. This year, I will be participating in the official event, which will run from March 4th through March 6th, Friday, March 4th through Sunday, March 6th. The official event kicks off at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So that is 11 p.m. over here on the East Coast. That means that my intervals are going to start at 11 p.m. and I will have them at 11 p.m., 3 a.m., 7 a.m., 11 a.m., 3 p.m., 7 p.m., and 11 p.m. before the cycle starts all over again, spanning that 48-hour time frame. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little bit nervous about it, but of course that's just part of the excitement, is just getting ready to take on this insane endurance challenge, and mostly I'm just very, very excited to take it on. So if you want to follow along, I hope you'll subscribe to the channel, or for live updates during the actual event itself, I would encourage you to follow me on Instagram. I'll definitely just be posting live updates throughout the day, but I'm also going to try to do some live YouTube events as well. Again, bringing the people together who are all participating in this event, hopefully hearing from folks, how's it going? Maybe do a kickoff before it starts to hear about people's plans, a check-in in the middle, a closing. I haven't ironed out all those details, but stay tuned. Again, just very, very excited to keep the conversation going and to get people involved. So you're not just taking on this event alone, you also have the support of all of these other folks joining in as well. So the 3 things I would say about this challenge that I am most excited and nervous for are going to be the sleep deprivation, the nutrition piece, and then the mental toughness. I'll get to mental toughness a little bit later, but focusing on that sleep deprivation and the nutrition, I'm really excited this year to kind of hone in on a strategy, because in June I will be once again attempting my first 100-miler at the Mohican 100-miler. If you have been following along on my channel for a while, you know that unfortunately I got my first DNF, or did not finish, at the Mohican 100 last year. I am going back this year and hoping to do much better. So I am hopeful that this 4x4x48 challenge will be somewhat of a simulation of, again, the sleep deprivation, as well as finding foods that sit well when I'm kind of in the middle of running or don't have a ton of time to digest, that I can use to my strategy for that race. Now, looking more at the mental toughness piece, this is definitely what I am most excited about. And I think the piece that is so unique about the David Goggins challenge is that that 4-mile interval is relatively approachable for a lot of folks, especially given the 4-hour window. You can technically walk every interval if needed. So I like that there's not a huge physical barrier to be able to tackle this challenge. But where it really comes into play, or what makes it really difficult, is again, doing that same interval every 4 hours for 48 hours. It is exhausting, especially mentally, physically as well, but just the mental challenge of keeping yourself moving forward. There's not necessarily an official finish line or celebration. It's just up to your own determination, your own mental toughness to continue to push yourself through those 48 hours. That was something I think really failed during the Mohican 100 was, yes, physically I was beaten down, but I think mentally as well. I just let those negative thoughts get the best of me and convince me that it was time to call out of that race. So I am hoping that this year's Goggins challenge is going to be an investment in my mental toughness so that when I hit the dark moments at that 100-miler, I have some tips, I have some tricks, I have some experiences to help lift me out of those spots to continue moving forward. And then the last thing that I will touch on is just sort of the big unknown for me with this challenge this year. And that is just the feasibility of where I'm going to run, particularly in those overnight intervals. Since the last time I completed this challenge, my wife and I have moved much closer to New York City, and I just don't really feel all that comfortable running in the neighborhoods surrounding us overnight, particularly for those 11 p.m. and 3 a.m. intervals. So that's gonna pose a problem. Don't have access to an indoor treadmill, and so working on some possible solutions, and I really see two potential options. The first option would actually be to just replace running with some other form of physical activity for those overnight intervals. David Goggins actually did expand the guidelines for the event, again, focusing on just completing some form of physical activity that roughly equates to running 4 miles. So I do have access to a Peloton bike. Thought about doing that for maybe 40-minute intervals in the overnight block. The other option would be just running the stairs in our apartment complex. Again, focusing on elevation gain as opposed to just distance traveled. I am a little bit intrigued by that idea, again, for the climbs that I'll be doing at the Mohican 100-miler, but also for the elevation that I'm gonna experience during my upcoming spring marathon. So toying around with that as a possibility, but we will see. The other option would be to just find somewhere else to stay for that weekend with friends, family, etc. Someone who lives in an area where I feel more comfortable running around at all hours of the night. So those are kind of the two options that I'm weighing. I like the idea of doing it in our home just because of how exhausting of an experience this is. I'd hate to just kind of take over someone else's house to do this. But the other piece is I would really love to be able to run all of those intervals. So those are the pros and cons that I'm currently weighing. I know that I need to make a decision sooner rather than later just because the challenge will be here before I know it. But one thing is for sure, I am extremely excited to once again participate in the David Goggins 4x4x48 challenge. And I want to know who else is in as well. So please give the video a thumbs up if you haven't already, or better yet, let me know down in the comments below who is participating. And if you don't already, I hope you will consider subscribing to the channel. And most of all, I am looking forward to hopefully seeing you out there March 4th through 6th for the David Goggins challenge this year. Cheers.